Yo, what up, what up? It's your man, Big Brandon Carter. I'm here with strength coach Tony Gentilcore of Cressy Sports Performance. He's written tons of articles on men's health, bodybuilding.com, all over the internet. Right now, you're out in Boston, right? That's where you're located.
Yeah, yep. Located just I live in Boston. The facility's out in Hudson, which is about 25 miles west of Boston. So middle of nowhere. Literally, like, people come visit from all over the world, and they're like, "Oh yeah, Boston, no, pretty big city," which is true. But then the facility is literally out in the woods. It's like I feel like we're drawing them to some like evil horror movie. That a world-renowned strength conditioning facility is out in the woods somewhere. But yeah, Hudson, Massachusetts. We're just west of Boston. So
okay, how many like minutes or hours from Boston?
I would swear the commute depends on traffic, of course, but it's 25 miles, so it takes me roughly 45 minutes to drive out there every day. Not too bad. It's a reverse commute, so I'm not fighting traffic too much, but I've definitely listened to my fair share of audiobooks in the process in my car. So I use an audible.com account too quite a bit. So,
yo, can you tell the people more about yourself, man? So they know those who aren't familiar with you.
Well, I'm originally from upstate New York, so I tell people I'm from New York, and they're like, "Oh, New York City." And I'm like, "No, further up, like New York. New York's a pretty big state. It isn't just New York City." But near Cortland, Ithaca, Syracuse, that area. So I grew up in a very, very, very tiny town, Groton, New York, near Ithaca, Cortland, and played sports all my life. Baseball was kind of my thing. Went to college, played baseball, and I went to school to become a health teacher, and decided that I would rather not have to wear a tie and dress pants every day to work. So became a strength coach, personal trainer first. So way cooler to wear sweatpants to work.
Right.
I worked corporate fitness in the Syracuse area for about 3 years. And then, Eric Cressy, who's my business partner at the facility, enticed me to move out to New England and to Connecticut. And he and I worked together for about a year at a facility in Connecticut. And then a year after that, we both moved to Boston, kind of did our own separate things. We lived together as roommates, but he worked at one gym, I worked at another. And 2007, I'm trying to remember my history here. 2007, we opened up Cressy Sports Performance with our other business partner, Pete. And, we trained a lot of baseball players, but we train anyone who just wants to get after it in the gym. It's a pretty serious facility. It's pretty minimal. Like we have one treadmill, and that rarely gets used, but it's a lot of squat racks, a lot of deadlifting, people throwing med balls, pushing sleds, chains, and prowlers, and but yeah, we're known as like a baseball training facility, so we train a lot of Major League Baseball players and minor league baseball players and high school, college, etc. But if you name a sport, we've worked with them. Boxing, volleyball, basketball, football, fencing. And then we work with a lot of regular people too. So general fitness population want to come in and they might be injured or coming off an injury, or they just want to have a little bit more accountability with their training. So they come with us and we make them badass. So it's we have fun.
All personal training, like it's all
right. It's a different business model. So it's group training or semi-private training.
Okay.
So none of it is one-on-one. So I'm not working with one person per hour and they're a Tony client or an Eric client. They're a client of the facility. Everyone that comes into our facility goes through a one-on-one assessment and they get a program written for them. So they literally have their program written for them, and they come into the facility and they're always being supervised. So some people, like younger people or new people to the facility, will always get a coach assigned to them for the first few times. And then as they kind of get more acclimated to the program and the flow of things, they don't need somebody to show them how to foam roll every time or how to do a goblet squat. They might know their the flow of things in that regard, but they might have a question on their program. And, hey, can you show me this really quick? And we show it to them. We just make sure people are doing stuff correctly. We kind of got our head on a swivel the whole time. Eyes in the back of my head. I'm just making sure people aren't hurting themselves. And, I could be working with a Major League Baseball player on their squat technique for 5 minutes, and I go over here and I'm working with a young 14-year-old on their med ball work, and then I'm over here working on some of the sprint mechanics. So it's it makes the day go by a lot faster. It's a little less monotony, you know, when you work one-on-one. Working one-on-one can kind of be a grind for a lot of fitness professionals.
I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I did it for 5 years, so it's like I kind of been there, done that, and it's still something that I tell a lot of young trainers that they should do. I think a lot of trainers should work in a commercial gym setting, and they should work one-on-one because, you know, part of this industry, as you know, is, you know, as much as it is about having the book smarts and the training smarts, you got to be a people person too.
Exactly. Yeah, I think I always tell kids like who want to get involved is to work in, like, just get a regular job at Valley 24-hour fitness just for a while, just so you can learn the rope and train, because you get a volume. They'll help you get clients, and then it's like you learn how to deal with people and then be able to train, because you don't want to know just what works for you, or, you know, you want to see what works for a bunch of people and you get a good sample size of the population. And
I just feel like you get access to a wide variety of people, and you know, I'm a self-proclaimed introvert. Like, I'm not a very extroverted person. I'm not like a rah-rah coach. I mean, I can turn it on when I have to, especially when I'm at the facility, but you kind of learn different coaching strategies with different people. Like, some people want the rah-rah coach, others don't. Some people are a little bit more motivated, others might need a little kick in the butt. But you know, the only way I just find it's an invaluable experience for a lot of young trainers to work in that commercial gym setting, just because, you know, you're gonna learn different personalities, and you're gonna learn how to coach people and different cues to use, and you know, just the different approach that people take to their training. But that being said, I'm glad I'm not doing one-on-one training as much anymore.
There's levels to this, man. Like, I don't know any really good trainer who hasn't started in a train. I mean, I'm sure there's outliers, but Elliot Holtz, you know what I'm saying, me, like everyone I know
starts in that vibe. Like, they definitely start in that realm, one-on-one training, and then they kind of branch out. And you know, when we opened up our facility, we knew that we were going to do more of a semi-private approach, because we felt it was more affordable for most people. We could get more people in the doors, and it fit our model, what we wanted to do. And you know, and it works well. Like, I mean, our coaching to client ratio never really gets above 5 to 1. So, you know, we have anywhere from 6 to 10 coaches walking the floor on any given day. And, you know, we could have anywhere from 30 upwards of 50 clients training at a time. But, you know, some are more advanced than others. Like, you know, there's some people walk in the facility and they know exactly what they're doing all the way through, and they don't need a lot of hands-on. But then we have someone who's new, who needs a little bit more one-on-one attention and supervision. So, but yeah, that ratio, the 5 to 1 is kind of where we like to keep things. And very rarely does it get above that. Our busy times of year are during the baseball off season. So from like September through February is when we're cranking out pretty good. But yeah, I love it. Like, I think it just keeps me on point. It makes the day go by faster. You know, I'm still training every level of athlete and every level of person. So I'm still getting that variety. But you know, you know how it is. Like, some of the commercial gyms, it can be a grind, and it's just like long hours. And you know, I'm kind of over the 12 to 14 hour day. I did that for 5 years, and I'm kind of over it. So you know, building our brands with writing and stuff like that. You know, like doing our facilities allow me to kind of branch out and spread my wings, so to speak, which I love. So it's all good.
It's like the training at your facility is like people are they have the plan or protocols individual that you laid out, and they're actually doing their own thing, but everyone's doing their own thing, but they're supervised. It's not like everybody's doing the same thing like a CrossFit.
No, nothing like that. That's one of the things too, because people whenever I'm out with my wife and I meet new friends of hers, and they find out that I co-own or co-founded a gym, they're like, oh, like a CrossFit, right? And I'm like, no, not a CrossFit gym.
Nothing wrong with CrossFit.
I usually tell people you can think CrossFit, but much more structured.
Right.
So
it sounds like it's more tailored to the individual.
Yes. So, you know, we get people, especially with overhead athletes, you know, baseball players, you know, arm care is kind of a big deal. You know, they're very hypermobile. You know, they have their own predictive patterns of imbalances and muscular dysfunctions. And, So we have to treat them a certain way. But then we get a lot of people who might come in with knee pain or lower back pain or shoulder, and they need to be catered to. Like, not everyone is going to be walking in on day one and squatting deep and squatting ass to grass or squatting heavy or doing heavy deadlifts. I mean, I think there's a varying degree of what type of squats or deadlifts or whatever they're doing, but we can't keep everyone in this or hold everyone accountable to the same program. Like, I think part of what makes us a little bit more elite is that, and we're able to charge a little bit higher, is that everyone is getting that individualized approach. I think people appreciate that. They feel like there's a little bit of a velvet rope around them of being taken care of. And that's not to say that places like CrossFit, I mean, the culture is huge. We've kind of instilled that too. We've built our own unique culture within our facility, but I talk about gym culture all the time and how important that is. And that's something that CrossFit does very well.
Oh yeah, they're marketing like genius.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, the games were this past weekend. I can't imagine how many millions of viewers watch that, and it's a testament to their marketing, that's for sure.
Do you train? So it's not. So people come here. Are they more for? They're going for function. They're going for athletics, not aesthetics. Like,
we train a lot of athletes. So we generally are including a lot of explosive based training, med ball work, cleans and heavier type compound movements. But that's not to say we don't get regular people that come in and don't want to get after it. But a lot of most of the people that work in front of a computer all day aren't really concerned about how fast they're throwing a baseball.
Right.
So certainly there's certain things that we're not doing to them that we would do with some of our baseball players or our football players, etc. But honestly, I operate under the premise that everyone should kind of train like an athlete. But the assessment is what gives me information as far as like where their starting point is, like where I'm going to start them. Because like I said, not everyone's going to walk in on day one and perform heavy conventional deadlifts. They just might not be ready for that yet. So that's why it's important to take everyone through a pretty thorough assessment to kind of figure out, they know what their point B is. Like, I want to have six pack, I want to jump higher, I want to lift this much weight, but I got to figure out what their point A is. And that's where the assessment comes in, and that's where the programming starts. So, but yeah, I definitely operate under the assumption I want people to move well. I want them to lift heavy stuff. I'm definitely a strength guy. I think there's a lot of validity and good things that happen when people get stronger. But I understand too that not everyone's really overly concerned with how much weight they put on their back and squat. So it's a little bit of give and take.
Do you get people in there who want to like lose weight, or like do they come to you like, I just want to lose weight, or is it just more about athletics?
We get fat loss clients too. Like, we've dealt with figure competitors. We've dealt with people who are just interested in fat loss. So you name the demographic, we've worked with them. Like,
okay, so if I went in there and said, hey man, I want to gain 10 pounds of muscle, you can help me do that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we what's nice about our facility is that we have a nutritionist on staff that works. Oh, there we go.
I don't think the people saw, but George just jumped over my.
I'm waiting for my cat to make her appearance too. But
is it black cat? You said you got a black cat too?
Yeah.
I have a little. She's a girl. Just George is neutered, so we can't breed them.
Yeah. But yeah, like our facility, we have a massage therapist, nutritionist. We have manual therapy. So we have a nice little network of professionals that we can kind of refer people to if they're hurt, if they want to put on some weight and talk nutrition. They want to get a massage, they can do that, which I think is important to have. It just allows our clients to get better business or better access to facilities and what's that?
It sounds like it's full service. You'll handle like
I just access the service that we feel is just going to help them in the long run. So, but yeah, like I said, you name. If someone wants to deadlift a bulldozer, we can maybe make that happen. So we'll see.
I get a lot of questions from guys who want to start their own gyms and open their own facilities, and that's something I've been reluctant to do because I'm lazy.
Yeah.
But like, could you give advice on someone who wanted to have a facility either similar to yours or any kind of facility?
Yeah, there's a degree of expectation management with that, because I feel like I mean, take for example someone like you. You have a huge following, Facebook, Twitter, etc. I mean, you have exercise videos. Like you're a well-known guy, especially.
It's a pretty big deal, bro.
Yeah. Well, look at that. Even still, someone with your following, you're still reluctant to open up a gym. You know,
Yeah. I'd rather shoot myself in the head unless you tell me something different. You know, something I don't know.
Yeah. No, but I'm just saying, like, but then you get people who don't have those type of resources or following or clientele. Like, I'm going to open up this 10,000 square foot facility and it's going to be beautiful with all these fancy gadgets and they just expect people are going to show up.
Yeah, you build it, you'll come.
Okay, you got rent to pay. You got who's going to clean the bathrooms. You got equipment maintenance. You got, okay, do you have any staff? Who's doing the books? Who's entering the phone? You know, there's a lot of stuff that comes into play. What's that?
So much stuff. Like security. Fucking toilet paper is expensive.
Yeah.
Like, because I just know my friend opened a restaurant like a year and a half ago, and it just like little stuff like you don't even think about, like fucking toilet paper is expensive.
Health
like,
insurance,
like in volume.
Crazy. And but you know, I understand that there's a lot of entrepreneurs out there who, and mind you, like the facility that I helped co-found. I mean, people always ask me if I'm ever going to open up my own facility, and I'm like you, like I'm a little bit lazy in that. I really don't want that. I don't want that much stress, and like I'm in a pretty cool setting in that I co-founded a pretty kick-ass facility that's well known, but then that I support and I'm an ambassador of that brand. Like part of my role is to be an ambassador for the brand. But two, I'm able to do my own thing. Like I'm able to run my website, write for various sites, do online programming, you know, whatever I want to do, travel and speak, which is awesome. And I like doing that. Now, if I had my own facility, I wouldn't be able to do any of that. I wouldn't be able to do as much writing. I wouldn't be able to do half the stuff I like to do. I mean, hell, like this afternoon, I might just go see a movie.
Right. I can handle that much. I can handle that kind of work alone. But like, I'm looking for someone who wants to open a gym. And I can just put my name on it and work out there.
Yeah. Well, we need a multimillionaire to invest it for us. And then, but I mean, usually, Pete Dupuis, who's the business director at Cressy Sports Performance, he actually just started a really good blog on more of the business side of things. And people are interested in opening up a gym. And he's putting out phenomenal content every week, like 10 biggest things to look for in negotiating a lease. Like where, you know, okay, what goes into finding a location? Like how do you manage that? Like what
link after this, and I'll put it in the comments so people.
Yeah. I'll give that to you. But you know, I would say that, you know, if anyone's listening or watching that and they're interested in opening up their own facility, what I will say is start small and build from there. I think it's like one of those things where people's stomachs are bigger than their eyes are bigger than their stomach. Like I said, they want to open up this fancy 10,000 square foot facility, and then they're struggling to hit rent on month one. You know, so we started off in 2007 in a 2,200 square foot facility that was like, we rented space, we put up our own walls. I mean, it was a shithole for all intents and purposes. Like but it was our shithole.
Yeah.
You know, we did what we wanted it, and it was awesome. You know, and then we expanded from there. So now we're just over 15,000 square feet in a professionally managed building. It's a beautiful facility. It has a cafeteria and showers, and like it's managed. So, you know, snow removal, cleaning of showers, all that stuff we have to pay for it, but we don't have to do it ourselves.
I feel like that's shit people aren't thinking about. Like,
no, not at all.
I never thought about snow removal and opening owning my own gym. But yeah, we live in the North Atlantic region. There's going to be snow every year.
Yep. And then I can't even imagine what it would be like in New York City. Like I can't even imagine like all the other obstacles that come into play. And but you know, if anything, if there's one piece of advice I can give anyone is start small. Like literally start small. Like you don't need 15 squat racks and every kettlebell weight and all this fancy equipment. Like a squat rack, you know, dumbbells up to a certain amount of weight. I mean, and then you just build from there. I know there's been many successful guys that I know that started off in this rinky-dinky studio boutique type of facility that grew. So, and if you get people results, that's really what's going to help you grow, and that's all that matters. So
you can start like I mean, when I first left the commercial gyms, what I did was I started training people. Well, I lived in a pretty big market. I lived in DC.
Yeah.
And so I would just train rich people in their apartment gyms or
Yeah.
something like that. Or you can in Manhattan, you can do that if you live in a big market. Or like you can, I know people who just bought like stuff for their house.
Yeah.
You know, like if like and they just started training people. Like that's a good way to start. Or moving to an apartment building. I was talking to a guy the other day. I was coaching him, like doing some like life coaching, and he's a trainer, and he's telling me he moved into an apartment specifically that had a gym so he could train people there.
Yeah.
So like you can start small.
Yeah, great idea. I mean, and you don't necessarily need to be a gym owner to build a fitness brand.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I think I know plenty of people that rent gym space, or they rent by the hour. They bring in their own clients and they just pay a facility fee. So you don't necessarily need to. I mean, some people have that entrepreneurial mindset and they want to build something, which is totally cool. Like I can definitely respect that.
Being a trainer is a different skill set. Like just because you're a trainer doesn't mean you'll be a good business person or entrepreneur.
Exactly. And that's something that helped us succeed. Like people fail to realize that when we opened up Cressy Sports Performance, we had a business guy. So Eric and I could do the coaching and the programming and the assessing, and Pete was in the background doing the lease negotiation, getting the cable hooked up, like taking phone calls, doing scheduling. So he was on the side doing all that. Whereas if you're your own one-man show, like you're doing all of that.
You're gonna be screwed. I think it doesn't matter what your skill set is. Like if you have like some special if you're a fucking cook, you should maybe hire a business guy so you can just cook.
Yeah, exactly.
You team up with a business person, like, or if you're an inventor, then team up with a business person, because inventing stuff and running a business are two totally different skill sets.
I mean, even if you have to hire for service, like somebody that can be like just like a, that gives you advice. I mean, that will help. But certainly, we had a lot of things in our back pocket from the get-go that certainly helped us. Like, we started small. We didn't have to take a massive loan from a bank. We had Pete as our business guy so I feel like we did a lot of things right. Certainly we did things wrong too, but it's worked out. And but long story short, like as a fitness professional, and you don't have to have a facility to make a name for yourself. Like there's plenty of people who are doing very well with YouTube pages. I mean, some of them are eyewash, but certainly there's a lot of people that are very successful that don't own a gym.
Exactly. I would say it adds credibility to own a gym or to just have been a trainer for a long time.
I think because honestly, Brandon, there's plenty of coaches out there who are only known because they have X amount of followers on Facebook, or they have an Instagram account, or they're popular on YouTube. They don't train anyone.
Yeah.
They don't train a single person, which to me, I'm like, so there's definitely, having a gym
for them doesn't mean it's gonna work for everyone else, right? Yeah. You gotta have a sample size and prove that your philosophies will work on not everything's not gonna work for everyone anyway, but like you trained enough people to know what's gonna work.
Yeah.
Good for the most.
There's just credibility. Like if you're someone who's actually like training real people, getting real results, then there's credibility to that. And of course, having your own gym is gonna. I mean, if you're pumping out, superhero like physiques for Hollywood and whatever. Like I mean, you're cranking out baseball players that are machines, or football, or you work with yoga people. I mean, there's plenty of niches out there. The fat loss clients. I mean, if you're pumping out results, whether it's with your own gym or if you're renting space or whatever, I think there's credibility to that. That's why as much as the online stuff that I'm a fan of. I mean, I have a Facebook page, I have Twitter followers, I write for various online sites, but I'm also coaching people. Like I'm still at my facility 25, 30 hours a week coaching people. Like I'm not. I'm
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, bro.
Yeah, no, I'm not Mondays and Tuesdays. I'm not there. Like I had the luxury of being able to work from home. Where I catch up on my article writing. I do my online business stuff or online coaching stuff. not to mention keeping up with my own website and stuff like that. But I'm at my facility 25, 30 hours a week coaching people. So it's hard for me as a fitness professional to write about, deadlifting mistakes and how to clean up somebody's squat or how to improve somebody's bench press if I'm not actually doing that.
Yeah, you got to be in the field, man. Like I don't do a lot of training anymore, but I still like sometimes I do, like I was doing free boot camps this summer and last summer, just so I can still be doing it, right? Because I want to speak from an area of experience, and like I don't want my skills to degrade.
Yeah, exactly. And plus, I mean, part of your credibility too is you're on a bunch of magazine covers and you're modeling and stuff like that. So you're practicing what you're preaching.
Yeah.
And you are coaching people. I mean, you're educating people, which is awesome. But again, like unfortunately, especially today in the fitness industry, people are placing a little bit too much credence on followers and likes, and like that's like the end all be all of being an expert in this field. And that to me, that's not the case.
I know some guys who have a lot of followers and they can't even make money off it.
Yeah.
They have no like, they just, so like to get followers just for the sake of it is almost, it's silly, it's immature. Like you need to have some sort of business model.
Yes.
Like, you're not a beauty queen. It's not a beauty contest. You want to get out here. You want to be. If you're not gonna make money off it, I mean, I guess you can do it for fun if you have another job. Sure. I know people like taking it so seriously and they're broke because they don't have a business mindset.
Yeah, that's the business mindset. Like I'm not a business guy. I mean, I've been around enough people, and I have a pretty good network where I can get advice, and I kind of, there's a little bit of like feeling your way around. I mean, there is some intuitiveness to marketing yourself. Mm-hmm. But again, yeah, I mean, it's certainly, I'm a big fan of telling people, like, if you're going to read all these books on nutrition and anatomy and assessment and biomechanics, and you do need to read on personal development, business, all that stuff is almost just as important. So
that's why I always give like book reviews on my YouTube and stuff like that, just because you need to be well-rounded. You don't want to just be the guy who's only talking about reps and sets.
Sure, exactly. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Yep.
So you're in your facility.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, what are like some of the now it's off the top of my head, what are some things advice you would just give to trainers? What do you see trainers doing right, and what do you think we're doing wrong?
I think with respect to giving advice to trainers, I mean, I think the big one I said earlier was, don't think it's like you're entitled and that you're above working in a commercial gym. Like, I think that's huge. I do think it behooves any trainer to seek out a mentor or going to conferences and workshops and reading, and I think that of course will help. As far as like what I see them doing wrong is a lot of trainers aren't coaching. Like they're just counting reps. I mean, I get to, like in Boston, like there's certain days of the week where I don't go to my facility, but I train at a commercial gym, or when I travel, I go to commercial gyms. And as a coach, it's hard for me not to observe. Like I'm always observing and watching. And I'm definitely not one of those guys that goes to a commercial gym and it's like giving, advice to people who don't ask for it. I put my headphones on, I mind my business, but I am watching. And, I watch a lot of personal trainers in commercial gyms and they're not doing anything. Like I find it unfortunate that there's people paying pretty good money. I mean, I know the going rate in New York City is an arm and a leg for personal training sometimes.
You charge a lot if you wanted to.
And I see trainers and maybe that's what the client wants, but I mean, do you really need to pay somebody $150 an hour to show you how to do a tricep kickback?
Yeah.
Or, and I see trainers with clients who they're not doing stuff correctly. Like their push-up look awful, their deadlifts look awful, their lunges look awful. They're doing crazy functional stuff like jumping on Bosu balls and
the fucking Bosu ball, man. What's that all about?
It doesn't look good. Like it's like the eyeball test. Like you can look at something and if it looks like shit, like it doesn't take Einstein to be able, that's probably not a good exercise for that person. But
on a bouncing on a ball doing one-arm cable curls.
Yeah,
Like,
it's crazy. But yet the person can't do 5 push-ups. You know, like that's so. And just like I'm a pretty hands-on coach. Like when I'm coaching somebody through a squat or a deadlift or whatever exercise, like, you know, I'm coaching at 90-degree angles. I'm coaching from the front. I'm coaching from the side. Like I'm not throwing out like verbal cue after verbal cue. Like I'll let them do their set and be like, okay, they racked the weight. Here's what I saw. You know, and this next set, I want you to work on this one thing. Okay, so the objective isn't to throw out 10 different cues at them and confuse the shit out of them. You know, but I say, your next set, I want you to focus on pushing those knees out a little bit more in your squats. And a lot of other things just kind of clean up if you give someone like a big rock cue like that. You know, but unfortunately when I travel and I observe other trainers and coaches or other trainers, they're not coaching, they're not giving any feedback. I watched one trainer not too long ago, watching a client do their set of whatever they were doing, just kind of leaning up against the side of a pole with their legs crossed, and they're just kind of like, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, there's no feedback, there's no coaching. Like to me as a trainer and a coach, my objective is to make it so people don't need my services anymore.
I think they're doing the opposite. I think a lot of these guys are doing the opposite. They're doing all this crazy shit. So it's like, oh, this is so fucking wacky that like there's no way I could think of doing this wacky shit without this guy.
And it's hard because sometimes I feel like, okay, I'm being like the uppity strength coach, and I'm like throwing my nose up at stuff. I mean, for all I know, maybe their client is training for a tricep kickback Olympics. I have no idea.
Maybe the balance of
but to me, like there is a semblance of professionalism that lacks when you as a trainer. I mean, you know, do whatever exercises you want, but make sure at least they're doing it correctly, right? Fix it and be professional. Like dress like, tuck your shirt in, shave. Like don't be a jackass and
act the phone off. Don't be like, I see guys texting, but they're training their colleagues, so we're like, yeah, let's do some shrugs.
That could be a catch-22 because I know there's a lot of apps online that are done on the phone now, but a lot of times people are texting. I mean, they're looking at their Facebook, or I'm like, put your phone away. You know, but you know, be professional. Act like you give a shit.
I hear him talking about life, and I'm like, I mean, listen. You're not her hairdresser.
Yeah.
She should not have enough energy to speak to you during this 45 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I feel like that, but
it's more during a set. Like I find like when I'm working with somebody and they're talking to me or telling me a story during their set, I'm like, number one, let's wait till after your set. Number two, maybe we got to up the weight a little bit, because if you're able to talk to me while you're doing this, then we're obviously not pushing yourself enough. Like I'm not one of those guys that feels like people need to be like leaving a session in a pool of their sweat. Like I want people to work hard. Don't get me wrong. You know, but a lot of times I want them leaving a session wanting more. Like I think that's a good thing. You know, I think
these guys are taking pride in their work, man. I think like Tom, I think these guys are just, they don't care if they get results. Whereas like I mean, I was so obsessed with like when I was with getting results from the client, like because I pride myself on that. You know, like this is like I want this person to succeed. So like I think a lot of them are just concerned with the money. I mean, so they're concerned with retention. So they're like, that's the way if you let her talk about her boyfriend, or you let him shoot the shit with you, then maybe you can, oh yeah, they'll like coming to you.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want them liking coming to me. I want them to be, I gotta come. I mean, that's.
Yeah, I mean, it's part of the equation. I mean, like it goes back to our earlier conversation on being a people person. Like there is a component of social, you know, being social with your clients. Like I get it. And I mean, and certainly building a rapport. Like I'll geek out and talk Star Wars and Game of Thrones and stuff like that with clients. But I mean, certainly there's a degree of like, yeah, we got to work. Like you're here to work. We're not going to talk about. I mean, you know as well as I do. Like some of the information that your clients like give you, you're like, whoa, too much information. I don't need to know this. Like
it's not a confidentiality. Like I'm not. You know, maybe you shouldn't say that to me. You know.
I think another big problem is that a lot of personal trainers are too caught up in entertaining. You know, they're trying to do like, I mean, believe me, the market is saturated. There's a ton of there's a ton. There's any personal trainer can replace you. Like there's a ton of them. And I get why some trainers might opt to do like the crazy Bosu ball stuff, and because it looks different, looks exciting. People are like, oh, what's that? It's like the shiny object that people, oh, it's something shiny. But to me, like when I'm working with somebody, whether I'm working with female clients, especially female clients, I'm more concerned with performance-based goals.
Yeah.
So I was like, listen, I want to get you to the point where you're doing an unassisted clean chin-up. I want to get you to the point where you're deadlifting 1.5 times body weight. And the amount of work and effort it's going to take to get to that goal, you're going to have those sexy shoulders and the back you're looking for, and your waist is going to turn down. So again, I'm a performance-based guy. I'm a strength guy. So I think getting people to kind of shoot for those type of goals, and as a trainer, sometimes you got to tell people what they need to do, not what they want to do. I think being weak is the worst dysfunction in the world. I think that's, to me, if you're weak, then yeah, you're going to be hurt a lot, and you're going to be on the foam roller, and you're never going to get better. So let's get you strong. Let's get you training with purpose and with intent. Let's quit the shenanigans, and let's do some work and work towards a goal. And I find that gives people a little bit more motivation, and a switch turns on. Like they accomplish that. You have them doing something they couldn't do 6, 7, 8 weeks ago, and it's like they're going to be with you forever. They're going to be loyal, and you're educating them. And like I said, I want them to not have to use me. Like I want them to be autonomous, But I think that's a thing that a lot of trainers miss out on. Is like they feel like they got to hold back, or I got to reach them for as much money as possible and re-up on their sessions, and But no, if you get them results and you have them do, like, more often than not, they are going to stay with you. But not only that, they're going to refer people to you.
Like people ask them, what did you do? They say, I got a trainer, and then they'll come to you. So like, even if they do, like, because sometimes people will be like, they'll accomplish their goal and they'll stop coming, right? And but their friends will come to you. So you don't have to worry about like trying to dumb your stuff down and make it crazy to keep the person. I think.
And I put up a video on my website not too long ago because I spoke to this thing called culture and how important that is within a gym setting. And I put up a video of 4 of our female clients who were just happened to be there on a Saturday doing one-arm chin-ups. Like, and how many gyms in the country have female clients that could just do a one-arm chin-up?
Male clients.
Like, or
male clients can do it.
That speaks to, culture. That we give a shit, that we want to get people strong and what have you. But it gets people excited. Like they want to train and they want to brag to their friends. Like, look what I did at the gym today. And so it's something that comes into branding and experience. But I do feel all that stuff is kind of things that a lot of personal trainers are missing out on. They're more concerned with building their Facebook followers and not necessarily worried about their own individual clients and getting them results.
Yeah. They're not in it they're in it for different reasons.
Right. Yep.
All right, so Tom, we're running out of time.
Oh, time.
Where can people get in touch with you? And I know you're going on a tour too, a workshop.
So the home base for me is my website. It's TonyGentlecore.com. So that's where I do all my writing. My blog, I linked all my articles. It's kind of, like I said, it's home base for me. And this fall, I'm teaming up with a buddy of mine, Dean Somerset. We're going to be speaking in Edmonton, up in Canada, his hometown, but Chicago, St. Louis, Los Angeles, and we're doing our complete shoulder and hip workshop where we break down the shoulder, we break down the hips, we talk assessment, we talk corrective exercise, we talk exercise technique, we talk anatomy, we geek out, but equal parts meathead. So we're going to get people lifting stuff and doing all these cool exercises that we use with our own clients and athletes. And, so certainly anyone looking for that information can look on my website or Dean's. But it's pretty cool. It's 2 days, and we're really looking forward to it. We think it's going to be good content. People are going to learn, so it's good.
Sounds great, man. Listen, I want to come out to your facility sometime.
Right, man, anytime. You're welcome. More than welcome to.
All right, man. Sounds good, man. All right, man. Well, thanks a lot, Dean.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
All right, man.